So, welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Cornerstone Boxing Academy. And yes, I am with Harry Mullins and Ender, the EFB man, both on Twitter. Harry's got a big fight coming up in November. We'll get details off him. If you want tickets, we'll get you to where to send you. But Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. This is an interesting one because Jake Paul, 5 fights, 5 wins, 4 knockouts. Whether you like him or not, he's doing the business. He's actually backing up what he's saying. Whether you think he's actually fought anyone credible or anything yet, that's down to you. But he's on BoxRec, so surely that's what it's all about. Anderson Silva, 4 fights, 3 wins, 2 knockouts as a boxer. But as an MMA fighter, 46 fights, 34 wins, 23 knockouts. That's some serious hand power. He's also the longest reigning UFC champion of 2,457 days. It's the MMA record for holding the title. He's no mug. The last person Jake Paul went against was Tyrone Woodley. We might as well have called him Woody.
Wasn't he an American footballer?
Huh?
Was he an American footballer?
No, he was. He was UFC, but he was more. I think he's more of a grappler than where. To be fair, Anderson Silva's like Harry would say, he's a beast. This guy.
Yeah. And I've done both of them because am I right in saying that Jake Paul is significantly heavier?
I think he is.
I think I'm not sure. I don't know too much.
Okay.
Already, SWS boxing, Anderson Silva, round 3. Come on, Spider. Well, I think everyone's cheering him on, mate. But we'll let's go for it. Harry, we're going to go with you first. Interesting one. Is this the toughest opponent for Jake Paul yet?
I think he's clever with what he does. I think he's got Anderson Silva at the right time. So I reckon he'll put another performance on to look good. And I think he might even stop him as well. So I think, he's clever with what he does. He picks him at the right time.
Yeah, because you think all that wear and tear over the years, UFC, the wear and tear on your body, you know, as a boxer, what you have to go through, you almost stress your body out sometimes to get it to where you need it to be. 100%. UFC, you've got to batter your body, surely.
5 rounds. It is on the ground as well, getting grappled, not just the fighting, standing up. It's a hard game.
Yeah. Ender, this is an interesting one for us because we always look at Jake Paul and think, oh no, here he goes again. But credit where credit's due, what he's done with.
As I said, and I think we said this before. We were previewing his ill-fated fight with what's his name, Fury, that celebrity Fury one.
Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. There was pictures of Tommy doing, the boxing machine yesterday on TikTok, and I put up a comment. That's been his most challenging opponent to date, and it just got millions of likes. So, but never mind Tommy Fury. He can go back to Love Island or whatever, Love Maternity Ward at this stage. But back to the matter at hand. You've got Jake Paul and Anderson Silva, and where I see it going is because I do believe Jake Paul has put the effort into boxing more than a lot of the celebrity boxers. He's now immersed himself more in it, and he's more serious and dedicated to it. However, Anderson Silva is a born fighter, and this is going to be the test for Jake Paul. But the only thing we don't know is what are the rules around the contract. Remember, like Mayweather had no knockdowns and all that built into his. I mean, and all these look great beforehand, but if you had the contract, you could say, well, you're not allowed to be knocked down, or you're not allowed to do X, Y, and Z. So that has
been an horrible ender. If you go into that fight, right, that's you and him. He's Anderson Silva ain't going to be worried about money. He's not going to be worried about
Why is
legacy.
he doing it then?
Been there, done all that.
Why is he doing it?
Because
he's going to make loads of money, you know.
Well, no, because he's taken up boxing now, hasn't he? So this is his stage.
No,
he's
but I mean,
been put on a world platform.
He'd box more experienced, significant boxers if he was serious about boxing. This is purely money and purely the celebrity angle of it. I mean,
but I think knocking out Jake Paul, look at what you'd get as a you'd be on everything because everyone wants you to do it.
No,
it's
yeah.
one of those things.
Heat magazine. I really not sure how to call it, but I think there's going to be a knockout, and I don't know who's going to knock out whom. So there you go. That's really sitting on the fence. Barry McGuigan will give
Harry McGuigan. He's sitting on the fence again.
Do you know what? Let's go with our boy Jake Paul. Jake Paul.
He's done.
Jake Paul will knock out Anderson Silva. So that's just me boxing versus MMA. I've sided with the boxing fraternity. But yeah. So there you go. Jake Paul knocks out Anderson Silva. There you go.
Well, yeah, I
with conviction of nothing.
I agree with you in the sense that he has immersed himself in it. And what he's done for Amanda Serrano, you can't take that away. I think he's done brilliant for that side of things.
Very clever, and I think
very clever. The business brain, business brain, he's used it. But
but he's the king of promotion and self promotion. So he's really rattled Eddie Hearn's cage that way because Eddie, you know, he's very good at it. So when Jake Paul gets inside his head, he doesn't like it. You know,
I know what you mean.
It's like him versus Warren, except Warren really didn't bite as much, whereas obviously, like Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn. I mean, Eddie Hearn sees a camera and he just smiles. You know, hey, I'm on camera. So no, fair play to Jake Paul for that. Sorry, back to you.
I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think you can't deny Silva's knockout record, and the last, you know, that power doesn't really leave. He's still in great shape. 23 knockouts when you are MMA, when there's so many different ways to win,
is because you got submissions.
It's impressive, and to have a 46 fight record, and then come over to boxing thinking I'll give it a go, and you've got 3 wins out of 4. He's not a boxer as such, but he's got 2 knockouts out of the 4 fights. I think you can't write Anderson Silva off. I'm going to take a punt on Anderson Silva, even though part of me would just love to see Jake Paul get knocked out, but also part of me would like to see how far can Jake Paul actually go.
Well, it'll be a big test for Jake Paul.
Get a professional fight, as in like, I want to see him against a pro boxer. You know, I genuinely.
Here's the thing, guys. Are you considering Anderson Silva a pro boxer, a legitimate pro boxer? Here.
Well, I suppose he's come across from another fight game, so there's more. He will be accepted more, won't he?
But he's surely more of a legitimate fighter than, say, Tommy Fury. But
then I suppose if they all get a professional license, they can all be said to be.
But like Silva's fought professionally for his career is what I mean, as in the MMA game. So, you know, he'd be more regarded as a combatant. Tommy Fury goes around the jungle in his tight shorts. You know, that's hardly.
My only concern is Anderson Silva's wear and tear, and the age coming into this. Jake Paul's fresh, he's young, and we've seen that he can literally bang. There's no messing about.
And the way, and I think Jake Paul is considerably heavier than Anderson Silva. I've no way of confirming that, but I think he is. If someone knew that, I'd look it up after and come back to you and post it in the comments. But Luke has posted his, and he's gone for, surprisingly for me, Jake Paul knockout. I did not think he would be backing Jake Paul.
Well, let us know in the comments how you see this one, because this is one that will divide people, because it's an interesting one.
My brain.
So yeah, let us know in the comments. As I say, very interesting one to call. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Harry, it's lovely to have you on, mate.
Thank you. You know, plug his fight again.
Yeah, well,
5th of November at York Hall on a Mark Nelson show. If you want tickets, contact me on Instagram or Twitter, both Harry_Mullins_. Thank you.
There you go.
Honestly, Harry's
So,
the boy.
If
He's
you
up
want
and coming.
fireworks that night, you know to get to York Hall.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
honestly, lads, thank you very much for coming on. As I say, you've been watching JG's Fight Talk, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
Have a